You are tired, not the kind of tired that sleep fixes, the kind that lives behind your eyes and follows you into the weekend and is still there on Monday morning when the alarm goes off, and you wonder, quietly, what exactly you are working this hard for. You have been told your whole life that the answer is to work harder, push through, grind more. That exhaustion is the price of success, and anyone who complains is simply not hungry enough. But here is what nobody in that conversation ever mentions. The system telling you to grind harder is the same system that profits most when you do. This is the burnout trap. And it was not an accident. In 2019, the World Health Organization officially classified burnout as an occupational phenomenon, not a personal weakness, not a lack of discipline, a systemic condition produced by chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed, because it shifts the question from what is wrong with you to what is wrong with the structure you are operating inside. Psychologist Christina Maslach at the University of California, Berkeley, spent decades building the most comprehensive scientific framework for burnout ever produced. Her research identified 6 specific mismatches between a worker and their environment that reliably produce it: workload, control, reward, community, fairness, values. In every case, the mismatch was not inside the person. It was inside the system. But the system has a story to tell you about that. The reason you are burned out is that you are not disciplined enough, not resilient enough, not optimized enough. Buy the right morning routine. Wake up at 5 a.m. And when you burn out again 6 months later, the answer will be the same: more, better, harder. Economist Juliet Schor at Boston College spent years studying what she called the work and spend cycle, the mechanism by which modern economies keep workers productive and consuming simultaneously. Her research found that as productivity increased across the 20th century, working hours did not decrease the way economic theory predicted. The gains from higher productivity were not returned to workers as time. They were extracted as profit and recycled back as things to buy, things that required more work to afford. The trap is elegant. You work more to earn more. You earn more and spend more. You need to work more to sustain the spending, and at no point does anyone ask whether the arrangement is making you well or making you useful, because useful is the point. Here is what Maslach's research exposes most clearly. Burnout does not make you quit. That is the common misconception. Burnout makes you compliant. A burned-out worker is an exhausted worker. An exhausted worker does not have the cognitive resources to question their conditions, build alternatives, or leave. They have just enough energy to show up, and in most cases, they blame themselves for not doing more. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker at UC Berkeley documented what chronic sleep deprivation, the primary signature of overwork, does to the brain. After just 17 hours without sleep, cognitive performance degrades to the equivalent of legal intoxication. Decision-making deteriorates. Emotional regulation collapses. Creative thinking and accurate self-assessment decline sharply. And yet, the culture celebrates the person who sleeps 4 hours, who answers emails at midnight. That person is not performing at a higher level. The science is unambiguous. They are performing at a significantly degraded level while being completely unable to perceive how degraded they are. This is the final lock on the trap. Burnout impairs the very cognitive functions you would need to recognize that you are burned out. The exhaustion becomes self-concealing. The harder you push, the less clearly you see. And the less clearly you see, the more you rely on the framework that tells you to push harder. The way out is not a better morning routine. The research from Maslach, Schor, and Walker points in the same direction. Actual recovery, not the performative rest of a weekend where you answer messages from the couch, but the structural restoration of a nervous system running on emergency power. And underneath the recovery, a question worth asking honestly. Not how can I work harder, but what exactly am I working this hard for? And whether the answer sounds like freedom or sounds like a trap. The most dangerous thing the burnout economy ever did was convince you that the trap was your fault, that if you were stronger, more disciplined, better optimized, you would not feel the walls closing in. You would. The walls are there for everyone. The only difference is whether you can see them.